If you have a social faux pas, the joke that doesn't land, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, don't judge yourself for it. You don't need someone telling you it's okay, but it's okay. Here is how to recover from a social faux pas. Hi friends, I'm Caroline Maguire, and I'm here to talk about all things friendship and ADHD. As a person with ADHD, it's true that social faux pas happen. You may miss a social cue. I may miss a social cue. You may misread someone's face, miss their intention when someone speaks, not even listening when you speak, and that momentary misstep makes you feel like you have fallen off the edge of the world, causing you to shut down, apologize too much, and relive the mistake for days. The truth is, likely no one noticed, but you feel like this is just a rerun of a show you've seen before. So often we feel so overwhelmed and we over-explain, send a million texts, or stew in a soup of our own tortured rumination for days. Sound familiar? If you have a social faux pas or a gaffe, it's really good to have a pivot plan. It's something that's personally helped to me and my clients. Before I get into it, let me ask you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, click all the things, and my social media information and my website and other helpful things are in the description. Here's 5 ways to recover from a social blunder. 1, shift your mindset to the learning zone. Try to shift your thinking so that you look at each social interaction as a chance to practice and grow. Tell yourself that you're in the learning zone, so there's less pressure to be perfect, because there is no perfect. You're not always gonna get it right. We're not looking for 100%. Now, I know this is easier said than done, because as a champion ruminator, yes, I am the best, it's really hard to do this. But as I enter social situations, if my self-talk highlights that I'm learning, I'm growing, then when you look back on things, you can look at what you've learned along the way instead of thinking, this should have been better, because there is no should. 2, have a script in your back pocket. A script is like a set of words to say about your behaviors when you miss a cue or you have a social faux pas. It's just a pre-thought out way of explaining or doing something so that you can pivot. It's like having insurance or money in the bank so that when you say the wrong thing, you're not panicked. A few good ones to use are, oops, I got carried away, sorry. Will learn to rein myself in. Sorry that I've touched a nerve, obviously, I'm gonna backpedal. Oops, that was an overshare. I guess I'm tired. Oh gosh, that came out the wrong way. Let me rephrase that. That's my personal favorite, because even if you say something and you don't mean it and all the air sucks out of the room, what I have personally found and my clients have found, if you're like, ooh, that came out wrong, I'm gonna rephrase it, people are like, oh, okay. And don't judge yourself, because this is easier said than done, and you want to be able to move on. You realize your error, you want to repair it and move on positively. 3, avoid apologizing too much. When you miss a cue or you feel like you're in the spotlight, people may not have noticed. Apologizing should be in proportion to the error. Evaluate the social blunder without your own judgment. In other words, what would someone you truly trust say happened? Did your actions cause pain or disrespect? Did you hurt someone? Was it truly an accident? Because if your behavior didn't harm anyone and it was truly an accident, we tend to still go down the road of over-apologizing, but you're making assumptions. Resist the urge to send a flurry of messages, which maybe creates more awkwardness because your blunder, again, may not have even been noticed. And if your tendency is to over-apologize or to inflate this small gaffe and have it become this huge thing in your mind, pause before sending texts, entering into apologetic speeches, or drawing attention to yourself. 4, step away and go to the restroom, breathe deeply, take a walk, give yourself a moment to reset your emotions. Then you can decide what's best to do from a calmer, more logical place. 5, prepare for rumination. As the queen of rumination, rumination is when you think about something over and over again, and it's a hallmark of ADHD. So prepare for this to happen. And honestly, reliving a painful moment can last days. When you have strategies at the ready, one of them being the best one called a pattern interrupt, which it's just what it sounds like. you are interrupting that pattern of rumination so that you don't have to live it anymore. Exercise, going for a walk. Some people say taking a bath, but I feel like then I'm just sitting in the bubbles thinking about what I was thinking about. People even put an elastic on their wrist and flick it, something that interrupts the pattern. One of the things also that Dr. Ned Hollowell advises is to stop the ruminative cycle, you have to do something that is as strong and as interesting as the rumination. And this hack has worked for me really well. So if I'm ruminating about what did they mean? That last sentence, the last thing they said when we were closing out Zoom. And this, by the way, just happened to me yesterday. Now I have hours to find out the result, and I start the story in my mind and I start the rumination. So I have to do something equally as powerful as that rumination. Doing things like taking a walk, going to the gym, physically removing yourself from the setting, listening to music, meditating. For me, I'll work on my book. You might need to do something super interesting, because if you're knee deep in something that is really interesting for you, you're less likely to feel that ruminative power flood over you, and you are basically self-distracting. Somehow when you end up in a sticky situation and you read the room wrong, you can move past it. Having this very simple pivot plan at the ready can help you move past any social faux pas. And I find that just by having that plan, I feel more secure in my social actions, my clients feel more secure, and we can go about our business without feeling like we don't have a plan should something happen. Remember, often this becomes a full-fledged story in our mind, and it might be nothing at all. Thank you to everyone who stayed to the end. I will make more videos about this kind of thing because it is such a real thing for those of us with ADHD, where we are struggling with any kind of social faux pas, anything that doesn't go our way socially, and then end up in that ruminative cycle. Bye, friends.